Good morning, and thank you for joining me again on my electrified journey around Europe. Today's plan is to explore the Lofoten Islands. Though weather does not seem to like this idea of mine. It was drizzling when I left Evenes campground at 8 o'clock in the morning, and the forecast for today is also anything but promising. I'm just blaming my nephew. The closer I got to his hiking party, the worse the weather got. So, when I started driving, camera mounted on the car, I was not a happy camper. So many other cars spoiling the footage during those short, not so rainy passages. It was time to remind myself that I'm doing all of this for science and not for pleasure. Right. Anyway, weather cleared up a little and the day started to improve. I projected the route against the car's range and figured I would need to charge on the Lofoten before leaving them for Bordeaux in a day or two. So I decided to try out a new service, Avinity or Billcraft. I think the former is the new name, but the app still goes under the latter. Anyway, the reason why I chose this one was that I had trusted the distance displayed on the Kople app instead of confirming it. It showed 131 kilometers to the next station, but it was actually only a little more than 30 kilometers from the Avinity charger. Anyway, so after 210 kilometers, I stopped at the Avinity charger by the Lofoten Turistsenter in Vestvågøya, and because they're quite pricey at 589 Norwegian crowns per kilowatt hours, I only charged 10 kilowatt hours to bring the battery from 23 to 33%. During this time, I realized my error regarding the Kople station and figured I might just move over there. If only I had also checked the price. I drove the 33 kilometers to get there and found out that it was even more expensive at 599 Norwegian crowns per kilowatt hour. So I decided to connect the car to the AC slow charger for half an hour and for the car to inhale another 6 kilowatt hours and bring the battery from 26 to 34% before driving to Nusfjord, where I had seen my nephew hanging out. Well, by the time I drove the 21 kilometers to Nusfjord, they had already moved on along the coast. So I took my jolly good time to explore the place and do a short hike myself, followed by dinner made from local fish. Entrance to Nusfjord is 150 Norwegian crowns, and parking is not an easy one there. While my initial plan was to spend the night at a car park, when I saw the Lofoten surf camp, I changed my mind. Yes, you heard that right, surf camp. There is a beautiful white beach with good waves. Now, don't expect any heroism at this point. I tried surfing in San Diego 13 years ago and discovered an only minor talent for the sport. But what I wanted to do was swim in the sea, and that I did. Water was 11 degrees warm, so any cold shower afterwards would be a pleasant sensation. Talking of which, it feels great when you come out of the water and blood circulation in your legs works overtime. The tingling, I tell you. The following day was one of rest, video editing, and meeting the kids. I mean, young adults. They had been marching for 7 or 8 days already through some really unwelcoming terrain, and without the luxury of sunshine, but an excess of humidity instead. Somehow their spirit didn't seem to have suffered though. Hiking aimlessly through the rainy wilderness of the Lofoten Islands seems to be more fun than studying physics at university, I guess. To make the burden a bit easier, I decided to drive towards them for the unique opportunity to taunt them from the warm and dry car. Alright, I may also have picked up a backpack and an injured young lady while I was there, yet most of them seemed to be determined to carry their own gear all the way to the campground. I figured they were just waiting for a bigger car to give them a lift and not have me know about it. So, while mentioned young lady and myself were sipping coffee and water respectively, the young folk was pretending to walk the 8-ish kilometers to the campground with a stop at the supermarket strategically dotted in. Not that I couldn't have done the shopping for them, but they may not have appreciated the food for the next few days. It took them hours to arrive, but that was time for me to do some video editing and chatting. In short, it was not boring. To finish the day off, some of us braved the 11 degrees warm ocean water again before retiring to various sleeping bags. And with that, let's have a quick look at the map and driving data. I left Evenes camping at 8 in the morning to drive deeper onto Lofoten Islands. After 210 kilometers, I stopped at Vestvågøya to feed the car 10 kilowatt hours to bring its battery from 23 to 33% state of charge. At the Lofoten base camp, another 33 kilometers on, I stopped again, this time at a coupler charger, thinking that was cheaper. Recognizing my error in judgment, I plugged into the AC socket and withdrew 6.4 kilowatt hours to bring the battery from 26 to 34%. Clearly a day of trickle charging. From there, I drove 21 kilometers to Nusfjord for some exercise and food, and to finish the day off, I made my way to Lofoten Surf Camp, a short distance of 13 kilometers from Nusfjord, where I had a dip in the sea and spent the night. Next day, I collected them young folks and spent editing videos again at the surf camp. As always, the driving information can be found on my website www.travelectric.net. Tomorrow I will leave these poor weather-bearing young people behind and flee the Lofoten Islands to Bodø and check out the amazing Saltstraumen. Thank you again for joining me on this journey, and I hope you enjoyed it and maybe found it useful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you again for the next leg of our journey. You have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.